a word has multiple senses and these senses are related to each other. This sense relation is called polysemy. Now I got a very simple example here. Like this is an example of the verb see. I saw a big pumpkin on my way. Second is see you tomorrow. And the third sentence is, can you see the difference between 1 and 2? This is also another example sentence, and I'm also asking you to see the difference between these three uses of the verb see. The first is see when we do this as a, use it as a perception verb, that we see something. I see you, I saw a big audience here, I saw some group of students coming. The second is see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow means here I will meet you tomorrow, not literally in the sense of I perceive you as an object. Can you see the difference between 1 and 2? Now this is C is, can you understand the difference between 1 and 2? Now this is polysemy. We are trying to understand the relation in this workshop. What we were trying to explore is the relation between these senses, how they are related, if at all they are related, how many senses are related, how can we do this kind of relation. So this is our goal. So what are the issues in polysemy? As I say, polysemy, there has been lots and lots of research in polysemy. I mean, first of all, I want to ask you, because I don't know personally each one of you, is there anyone who is working on particularly this kind of problem, particularly taking cognitive semantics framework or taking polysemy from any other framework? Is there anyone? Any researcher? Anyone? So it's a very important issue in lexical semantics, and the challenge for semanticists, computational linguists, I am saying, because word sense disambiguation is a big challenge for computational linguistics, and polysemy creates this ambiguity. So to understand the ambiguity of the word, in computational linguistics, NLP terms, we use this word sense disambiguation. So for computational linguists, polysemy is a big challenge, a big problem. For cognitive scientists in general, linguistics is part of a big umbrella called cognitive science. Cognitive science is a very cover term for understanding how we cognize, how do we know what we know. So linguists try to understand and how do we understand language cognition, how do we explain how we produce language, how we understand each other. So these are, as a linguist, we are part of this cognitive science enterprise. So understanding polysemy from the point of view of cognitive psychology is another big challenge. So cognitive scientists are also bothered with this. What are the issues here? How are the senses related? Is there one core sense? Like I saw you that you take any good dictionary, you will take one word and you have lots of meaning for those words. Right? Now how are these senses related? Is there any core sense and some peripheral senses? How are these senses of a word associated? What kind of association? Association sometimes in terms of metaphor, in terms of metonymy. These are the kind of relations the senses have. So how do we understand these related senses? This is one theoretically major problem. And then come to the application. How can we represent these senses in a lexicon? Now, lexicography is a branch of applied linguistics. Dictionary making, lexicography is it seems to be not very difficult task. Seeing in the for the first glimpse, we think that okay, this is dictionary, I will map the sense of one word to another language, but actually when you do, you find that it's a really difficult job. And then what should be there in a dictionary, how we represent the senses, these different senses in a lexicon, and how effectively can we do. The question is how effectively can we do. The effectiveness is from the point of view of different applications of this dictionary. One is the application for language teaching, of course. The dictionary is one component which we use for language teaching. The other big application side which we are exploring right now is the NLP application. So we have to make a very effective lexicon which will take care of these related senses for NLP purposes. So how can we represent senses in that way? So that's what the third point comes in relation to this. How do we make an effective NLP system to disambiguate the senses of words? So this is a problem particularly in NLP and in various applications that word sense disambiguation. Now, as I said, when I'm talking about polysemy, I am taking this cognitive semantics point of view. When we are starting from cognitive semantics, now maybe I am for a little time I will go fast, but may I know, is there anyone in the group who knows about cognitive linguistics? Because I may assume certain things. I know some of you are doing, but not you. Cognitive linguistics. Some basic idea, yeah. So for some things I will assume there's not much time for elaboration of everything. So just to be very brief, cognitive linguistics is a very comparatively new approach, a new discipline within linguistics which emerged in only in 1970s, and as an opposition, as a challenge to very hardcore formal syntax and semantics. So in opposition to Chomsky and linguistics, cognitive linguistics assumes that there is no separate language faculty. We don't need a separate language faculty for understanding language phenomena. Language is like other kinds of cognition. So try to understand any linguistic phenomena in terms of other kinds of cognition which we generally do, and this is in terms of our regular bodily experiences, and that's very important, physical bodily experiences. In contrast to the very important branch in semantics which we call formal semantics, which is based on mathematical logic, cognitive semantics takes a different view and assumes that language, or any in general meaning is the conceptualization. The way we understand, the way we conceptualize the sense is the meaning of the sense. So this is a very different kind of view taken from the formal kind of semantics which are prevalent otherwise. That is the truth conditional semantics which we call based on mathematical logic. So they started from this. All this started from the way we understand categorization, because categorization is one basic cognitive ability which human beings use. From the very childhood, we sort out things, we categorize. Categorization is used in a way that we relate or match our previous experiences to new experience and then categorize. So categorization is a very basic cognitive operation which we use. Now, on categorization, the earlier view was classical objectivism, which is Aristotelian view based on pure set membership in terms of set inclusion. So you are either member of a category or you are not. So either you are a flower or you are not. There is nothing in between. So this is classical objectivism.